Hello, my name is Mars, and welcome back to Elsinore. We got a lot done in the last episode. We apprehended the spy and freed up the time loop for ourselves, and we rescued Polonius, our father. And since the time loop is now longer, I think I'm going to keep a closer eye on the time, the length of these episodes now, maybe split each loop into two, because just going through half the loop, like I've been up to, almost an hour long. So, I don't know, I think in this episode we're going to pursue the Prince's Ambitions side quest. Alright, and I think that what we need to do for that... Hold on. I think it's under here. Making a king. What makes a king great? Some trustworthy folk around the castle might know. So, I need to find some people to ask to... I need to get some people to give Hamlet advice, basically, is what this side quest is. Right. Making a king. Can you encourage Hamlet to be a great king? He seeks the advice of wise folk.
Woohoo!
Why, I thought he'd never ask. I remember when his father was his age, so young and impressionable. Having a hardened, grizzled veteran by his side will make all this much easier. Those aren't words I would necessarily use to describe you, Polonius, but okay. Father, I would stretch to call you grizzled. Well, that's just because I'm your father. I can be quite the warhorse, you'll see. I'll find him as soon as I'm able. Hamlet gets some advice. When will that happen? Right now. I guess we're not looking at Bernardo interrogating Brit anymore.
My lord?
How is your state of mind? Better than it's been in a long time. What can I do for you, sir?
Woohoo!
Oh, it's been a long time since you addressed me with any form of title. Well then, I've come to offer you a little advice. I'm sure other men and women can offer you better words on matters going on outside the castle. The nobility is a problem you must solve. How you do so is up to you, but I come here to warn you about something more formidable. There are always going to be enemies within your own walls. Something I wish your father had known deeply was that any man can be driven by jealousy to commit foul deeds. Rid yourself of enemies at court, and you will live harmoniously, young prince. I promise it. Enemies at court? You mean here, in Elsinore? Ugh, but who would want me dead? I can only... Oh.
Yes.
You're right, Polonius. I can't believe I was so blind. Of course there will need to be a purging when I become king.
Take great care.
Anyone within a king's court understands the need for privacy and safety, my lord. None will be offended. Just please, don't wait. I wish every day your father was still with us. Had we been more prudent then, he might have been. Thank you for the advice, Polonius. I'll think on it. Very well. Hamlet now believes that Polonius believes that Hamlet's biggest threats are within Elsinore. Okay. Alright, can we... Yeah, we missed it. What's this? So, yeah, I need to get him some advice before... Alright. I'm gonna snoop a little because none of the guards are in here. A treatise on divine given morality. I had no idea our guard staff were so well read. And there's a second book underneath. Oh, it's got illustrations in it. What is that woman doing? Oh. I take back what I said before. Hey, someone can like porn and still be well read, Ophelia. I don't like this prejudice you have right now. When some new man joins the unit, they'll put their personal items here. Playing cards and winnings. I'm surprised Marcellus just leave this all out in the open. Horatio's personal effects are here, what little of them he has. He's not strictly a guard, but the king gave him quarters on Hamlet's request. More convenient than staying at the inn down the hill, I suppose. Bernardo's things. Nothing else here. One of the guards' beds. It's much less nice than mine. Okay, who else can we ask to give Hamlet advice? Bernardo, who's right next door. Hamlet seeks advice on how to be a great ruler. Can you help?
Hello.
I suspected this day would come, but so soon. There would have to be a time when Hamlet and I were equals in our ignorance. But my knowledge of the political sphere has grown these last 10 years, sometimes in ways I wish it hadn't. I've learned some ugly lessons, some unfortunate things about the workings of this world.
Goodbye.
I'll speak to him and see what golden words I can give him. I guess that's happening right now, so I'll follow him. Sorry, Hamlet. You just got a break, and now I need you to come right on back. Uh-oh. What's going on?
Ophelia.
I've returned.
What?
So soon? Oughtn't you be in Paris by now? I was at Port in Aalborg when I heard the news. About everything happening back here, that is. The situation in Elsinore has deteriorated quickly. Are you all right? No one's harmed you? I'm safe for now. There's work to be done, and I intend to act swiftly. So as a reminder, Claudius died in the last episode. The king is dead, so it's not so sad as Laertes' return can be when he comes back after the death of their father, but you know where to find me if you need me. Alright. Excuse me. Come on.
Ophelia.
Okay, there you are. He's got a lot to tell me. There's something important we need to discuss with father. Okay. I was trying to help my boyfriend, but okay. Lady Brit has been uncovered as a traitor to the court, thanks to Ophelia. But this has dealt me a devastating blow. I'm not certain what the two of you knew, but I loved her. I knew Laertes, and I've loved her ever since we came to Elsinore. I had hoped to leave her safely behind as I went to Paris. And maybe, when I'd returned, I'd come for her, even if her father wouldn't approve, even if she was promised elsewhere. Now, suddenly, that dream was gone. She wanted to kill Ophelia.
I'm sorry.
I'm truly sorry, Laertes, that it turned out this way. There is nothing left for me in Elsinore. Even if I leave for Paris, I feel the knowledge that I would one day return would overshadow the trip. I never desire to return to Elsinore again, and I know not why we linger here. This castle is a wretched place, a sorrowful place. We should have left long ago.
My son.
I know that you are distressed, but this is a drastic response. Life at court can be difficult, it's true. Many of the nobility aren't able to handle such pressure. But I have respect and influence here at Elsinore. People desire my counsel. Do you? Do you truly?
Of course.
I have no reason to believe otherwise. The court still values my advice. No, I am needed here. I cannot in good conscience leave. If you have some proof to the contrary, I'll gladly hear it, but I find the notion unlikely. Alright. Can I go back to my thing? No, it's over. Okay. I'm gonna have missed it when I get there. Yeah, okay. Alright, what's Laertes doing with Brit?
Laertes.
Please, listen. Lord Laertes. I don't know why I bothered to come. I have nothing to say to you. Then go. No, actually, there's one thing. Bernardo tells me you wanted to have my sister murdered.
I didn't know.
I didn't know she was my target, not until very recently. And then, I didn't want to kill her. I fought, but...
What?
You fought? But you still meant to go through with it? You still meant to kill Ophelia? I don't know. You're a liar, a murderer, and a traitor to everyone in this castle who knew you.
Laertes.
Please, God, leave Laertes, please. Just have mercy. I'll be dead soon. Then you never have to look at me again. It may not make sense now, or ever, but I'm sorry I deceived you. Everything I felt for you was honest. I love you more than anyone in the world. But I didn't have a choice about your sister. I never did. My whole life was...
No more.
I don't care. I see. I shouldn't have come here. I hope you go to hell for threatening my sister. And for using me. Oh God, I'm so scared. So Laertes is upset. Alright. There's a few more people who can ask for advice. Can you encourage Hamlet to be a great king? He's seeking advice from friends.
Marcellus.
Of course.
I've encouraged a number of kings and gilded men. Of course I can. So Hamlet's looking for a kind word. I've got just the thing for him. Thanks for finding me. Yeah, and I don't remember what it is that Bernardo tells him, so sorry for not being able to show that.
My lord.
My prince, I heard you were looking for advice earlier. So, you're going to seek the throne after all, eh? So it would seem. Well, as the oldest servant guard in the castle, I've seen me a lot of trouble in my day. And all of it stems from those blasted nobles. They're never happy. Weren't with your father, weren't with your uncle.
Ha!
And I think it's high time we crushed them beneath our boots.
What?
You'd have us go to war with them? Truly?
Oh,
They don't respond to threats, bribery, peace talks, or any other strategy. What's left? To hell with them, all of them, and may Denmark long rule.
I see.
Thank you, Marcellus. Perhaps there is no way forward with the nobility that involves peace. Perhaps shows of force are all they respect. That's terrible advice. I expected better of Marcellus. If Brit's family is working with Fortinbras against us, then we've no hope of attacking our own nobility. Not that we'd even want to. I wonder if there's anyone who can encourage Hamlet to form an alliance instead. Okay. Who else? I don't know if Queen Gertrude has anything. Actually, yeah, I still have time. Hamlet seeks advice on how to be a great ruler. Can you help?
My queen. Wait.
My son? Seeking advice? Is all well? He isn't sick or raving mad? Yes, all is well. He's ready to become king.
My son.
This is a mother's dream come true. I'll speak to him as soon as I'm able.
My love.
Love, I heard you were looking for advice. I was.
Hamlet.
I know you still hold me in revulsion. And I cannot change that, nor can I soften your heart.
Mother.
Actually, Mother, I believe I owe you an apology. What? I have been devastatingly cruel to you, I'm afraid. I've treated you in ways no son should treat his mother. You are Denmark's dowager queen. For now, we rule together, mother and son.
Hmm.
Oh, oh, Hamlet. You don't know how long I've desperately wanted to hear you say that. My child, my little love, I'm so sorry. Everything that's transpired. Some moments I think the events of the last few months have all been one horrible dream.
Of course.
Then think of them that way. I certainly do. Oh, you wanted advice. Please excuse me. I saw you escorting Ophelia to your chambers. Ah, mother.
My dear.
If there is one good word I can give you, it is to marry well and marry carefully. The nobles will call a vote to determine whether you may truly be their king when you take the throne. At that time, if they dislike you, it will come to war, or worse. You will be ousted, and all of us will be forced from Elsinore. But if you can select a suitable marriage which appeases the nobility, then such a crisis could be avoided. We had hoped to make such a match with Lady Brit, of course, but no longer. Still, if you were to marry the daughter of a Danish noble house, it would be an alliance between Denmark's crown and her nobility, and all would be at peace. But I don't think I can make that promise. There's someone else.
I know.
I know you love her, but listen to me. Gertrude, I thought you were on our side. Come on. I know things are different now that he's gonna be king, but this sucks. Come on. In my long years of reign, I have learned but one thing to be forever true. We do not rule for our own desires. Our hearts must live outside us, on public display. If you marry Ophelia, the peace will be hard won. The nobility will see it as a rejection of all other options. And that will make your work in the future all the more difficult. I love Ophelia. But I have lived selfishly a long time. I cannot live just for myself anymore. Not now.
I see.
Perhaps you're right. Perhaps there's truth in what you say. I will think on it. I can promise that much. Thank you, Mother. I do not say these things to cause you pain, merely to help you be the best king you can be. I love you, Hamlet. Regardless of what I say, I know you'll make a choice all your own and be the wiser for it. Okay? Oh. Is there something going on in the dungeon? It is only by the grace of the Queen's earlier orders to me that we perform this execution here and not out in public. I cannot pretend to have sympathy for you otherwise. I never thought you capable of this. And Lady Ophelia, my apologies that you came to witness something like this. I must warn you, it is unpleasant work, though necessary.
Yes.
I understand, Bernardo. Thank you. On your knees, Lady Brit. Lady Brigitta Brockenhouse, you are hereby sentenced to die for the crime of highest treason against the Danish crown. You have passed correspondence directly with the head of an enemy state. And so I have. Let this be a warning to all who threaten the sanctity of the body of Denmark. May they meet the same fate. Stop! My queen? I order you to free her.
My lady.
I cannot do that. This order was among the king's last.
Yes.
He wished to make an example of her, but he's gone now, and all three of us know the truth. Her father, Lord Brockenhouse, is the true culprit behind this treason. He has sought the throne for months now. She is merely the puppet. My husband knew that killing her would temper Lord Brockenhouse's ambitions. But I know Brit. This is not her design. Isn't that right, Brit?
Stop.
My lady, stop. I don't deserve your intervention. Yes, you do. I will not have you spill the blood of a young girl over her father's crimes. I understand your sympathies, my lady, and I share them, but I cannot disobey a direct order. Then we shall kill her to all the world.
What?
I'm confused. Did you not ask me to stay my hand? We shan't kill her, merely make a show that she is dead. I will remove her from Elsinore.
I see.
So you intend to smuggle her out? My lady, if anyone were to find out, they won't, because you're to leave Denmark entirely, Brit. What are you doing?
Brit.
You will stay at my sister's court, Margaret of Austria, in her care. You will assume a new name and a new title. You will not speak of your old life. And you will go alone, in a carriage I arrange for you in utmost privacy. Do you understand? Oh my god. You want me to leave Denmark forever? Now you understand. I don't, though. Why are you doing this for me?
Dearest.
This can never be a world worth living in if women don't protect one another. Men will sell us, breed us, hit us, dishonor us, and kill us. They rend us apart the moment they're born from us. Someday there will be a young girl in your care suffering the way you've suffered recently. And you must protect her life with your last breath. Do you understand? I do. Now get up. I have one final command to you, as your queen and the lady you serve. Live. Never return to Denmark. Never write to your father or mother. Never think of the life you had. All of us shall agree to never speak of this incident. Isn't that right, Ophelia?
I promise.
If that's what the queen wants.
Of course.
My eternal thanks, Ophelia. Bernardo. I don't know if I've ever seen that scene before. Brit being saved. It was total serendipity that I just so happened to kill Claudius in the same run that I apprehended Brit. Wow. Today, Brit is dead. I don't know how to repay you, my lady. I was so cruel to you, and everyone. I followed Fortinbras' commands. I can never change that. You were a child in the middle of war. Go and join no more battles. Go and live. Lady Brit dies. Wink, wink. But there's no skull over this. And let's see. Okay, her eyes are blacked out, but still. Alright. How much time is left until we have to meet with Hamlet? Not much. Ophelia, the time has come for me to make a decision. How have your first days as Prince-elect gone? Quickly, frighteningly. I'm not ready to be king. Perhaps no one is, really. My uncle was. He committed a grave sin to achieve it. But in the end, he was no more fit than any other man. He reached for the crown but could not keep it. Denmark has struggled under his rule, I'm told. The situation is worse than I thought. We have to fix things, Ophelia. It's going to be a long path forward. All that assuming the nobility will elect me to the position, of course. You know, I realized something today. As I contemplated all these decisions before me, I thought to myself, what would Ophelia say of this? I need you by my side if we're to bring great things to this country. Oh good, he's not listening to Gertrude. Without you, I'm nothing. I've even less experience than you do at managing affairs of state.
Yes.
But you understand people, the way they think, what they love and fear most. And you understand how to fix people too. You understand that healing is more powerful than destroying. That's something Claudius never understood. He saw power and reached for it without understanding that power obtained through fear is fragile. Then let's establish a new way. Tell me, what have you decided? How will you rule? The first matter of concern was to understand where the biggest threat to the throne of Denmark lies. I know that the Danish nobility are deeply unhappy at the present moment. As Claudius largely ignored them, their fealty trended toward Norway's growing power. Now they're borderline treasonous. Most people who came to speak with me offered me the advice to be forceful with the nobility. My father would have handled this matter by riding out in full decorum to greet these men, reminding them of their king's presence. I intend to do the same. Perhaps once the noblemen see me in person, they shall remember that I am my father's son, not Claudius's. The second matter of concern is, predictably, understanding who will rule beside me. When the world thought me just a mad prince, it wasn't a popular topic. But once you inherit a crown, everyone looks at you like you're a piece of meat. In short, I must make a proposal. Being with you again has made me happier than I ever thought possible in a time like this. But something changed, Ophelia. When you asked my mother to speak with me, she was honest with me. So honest it sent me reeling. My mother's advice was that my life is no longer my own. It belongs to my country, and I must use my life in service to improving my countrymen's. As prince, I can marry for love. As king, I must wield marriage as a tool. The marriage I make can improve the world or leave things as they are. So much as it goes against everything I've ever wanted, I'm choosing to follow Mother's advice. Brit was the obvious candidate, but no longer. My wife will likely be another Brockenhouse, or perhaps another powerful family's daughter. I ought to have known Gertrude would give him that sort of advice. Do what you must. I am only sorry that our dalliance made your decision all the harder. Never say that. If I could choose my own fate, it's always been you, Ophelia. You know that. Okay. So right now I'm thinking we're probably going to have to do this quest again, but without asking Gertrude for advice. Because I know that this is just, we're seeing where the quest leads, but that's the only way to get like an official ending out of it, so I might have to do this one again. When I thought about becoming king, I knew I'd have to learn to put aside idle dreams I had before. But I'd always believed I'd marry for love. Putting that dream aside will be the hardest of all. Alright, let's go here. What time? 00, so I got like an hour.
Bernardo.
Give the ready signal. Our dispatch will ride ahead shortly.
Yes, my lord.
All is at attention here. Marcellus, are the men in town ready to move forth?
Aye.
All that I can see.
Let's go.
Hamlet?
Where are you going?
Ophelia.
I'm leaving to visit the countryside. I didn't anticipate we'd go so soon, of course.
Wait.
Are you sure this is wise? It is what's best. We intend to make a small show of force to shake the nobility. Nothing extreme. Hamlet will be in the care of the best men I can offer him. Marcellus and I will be staying behind to maintain security at home while Hamlet is away. And what if he doesn't return? I have full faith in Bernardo on this matter. I was given some advice I now believe in. Force is all these noblemen will listen to. I must be the one bearing the whip. I need you to trust me. All will be well, and I'll be back home soon, safe and sound. You needn't worry. So be it then. I wish you the best of luck. Have a little faith in me, Ophelia. Thanks for arranging all of this, Bernardo. Of course, my lord. Anything. Okay. Alright. At this point, I think I should start planning what I'm gonna do in the next loop. Alright, so for the spirit, which is a very important central quest, I need to get information from a diary his mother keeps in her room, so we need to get into the chambers. And yeah. I should ask some people about Queen Astrid while I'm at it. Have I talked to Polonius? Oh, Marcellus. Marcellus is the one everyone says I should ask. The castle's past. I've never heard anything about Queen Astrid, King Hamlet's mother. What do you know?
Oh.
Poor Astrid. She died young. I was in her service at the time. You know, she died in childbirth, but there were always those nasty lingering rumors. Rumors of her death? King Alexander wouldn't let anyone see the body, not even us guards, or the priests who'd bury her. I'm sure he had his reasons, and grief is strange, but there's always questions left over. And that mistress of his sure was beautiful. Simona, I think her name was.
Apologies, my lady.
Oh, look at me prattling on about bones and dust. Excuse me, my lady. Okay. So that's a name we haven't heard before, Simona. I don't know if Polonius knows anything about Astrid, or if we've asked him before. What do you know about Queen Astrid?
Father,
Ah, now that's a name I'd sworn not to speak again. Was there some ill omen about her death? Your mother was wonderfully faithful to Queen Astrid during her service. She served her as a handmaiden in the same way I advised King Alexander. It's strange. I just came from visiting your mother's grave.
I miss her.
Thinking of your mother is painful. I wish you'd join me in visiting her too, now and then. We could pay our respects together. Perhaps then I could find the courage to talk about what happened. So if I want Polonius to talk about Queen Astrid, I need to join him at Mother's grave at some point. But now is not the time to unfurl feelings I've neatly tucked and folded away. All right. If I talk to Father about Queen Astrid, he acts evasive. Evidently, the Queen was quite close to my mother, and he finds it painful to discuss her. He mentioned that he visits her grave Thursday night, though. Okay. I don't think there's anyone else I can really talk to about this. So, and I don't think there's anything else that we need information about right now. Oh, maybe I can ask Quince about Queen Astrid. That might yield fruit. Do you know much about Queen Astrid? Queen Astrid and Lady Simona, two peas in a pod. Though, to be quite honest, lady is a mite of a stretch. They were both little bosom pals with your mother, if memory serves. How is your mother doing? She's dead.
My lady.
Oh dear. Terribly sorry. I suppose that's what happens when you pop out for a bit and come back in 2 decades. Okay. I can ask him for hints about a few more things. What do you know about the ghost haunting the walls of Elsinore? A multitude of things. For what purpose are you eager to track down this spirit? If this is what's causing Hamlet's madness, then this is what's causing him to kill my father. And if I myself have become a supernatural oddity, then perhaps finding another will pave the way forward.
I see.
Yes, I follow. Then heed this. To track down the father, you must go through the sun.
Goodbye.
Once his mind has been swayed, follow it to its natural conclusion. Alright. Anything else? Quince, why is it that you know things you ought not to?
Quince.
I merely choose what I say carefully. We only have so much influence to spend, after all. Do you not do the same, my lady? Don't be coy with me. I've earned more information than that, if you have it. You know, not every performance I give is here in the castle. Sometimes, on my way in or out, I do a little extra show. You know, for the children.
Ah.
You'll come see me, won't you? I feel as though we've grown quite close these last few days. How many days has it been now? This is my magnum opus, my true life's work, and as you know, vita brevis. Does that mean life is short? When exactly is this unmissable performance? Early Thursday morning. Be there if you can. Quince will not perform on Thursday mornings, but he doesn't perform in the courtyard. I mean, not the courtyard, the Great Hall. He performs in a different location that we haven't seen yet. Okay. I think we just kind of have to fast forward time until something happens. That's the herald's horn. Something's happened. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, for disturbing you. I have an important update regarding the alleged spy in our midst. The traitor Brigitta has been put to death. Let this serve as a warning for all that would betray the crown. Brit. I encourage all of you to report anything troubling you see to me at once, and remain within the castle if possible. Okay. Anything else that happens? I'm just keeping an eye on the map to see if anything purple pops up. Oh. What was that sound? The outer gates. Oh no. Bernardo, who's coming up the bridgeway?
No.
Marcellus, I believe we have fallen into a trap.
Fortinbras?
Prince Fortinbras. He's coming. I can see smoke from the town. We have nothing prepared thanks to the command to disarm. This is to be the end of us. I guess Elsinore is really fallen, ain't it? You know, if you don't want to die here, Bernardo, you're a young man. You could get out, get to the docks, have a long, quiet life. You ought to know me better than that.
Marcellus.
There's something I've never told you before. I consider you to be one of the greatest, noblest, most kind-hearted men it has ever been my pleasure to know. Let us swear that whatever happens today, we shall someday raise our cups to one another in heaven. Don't say that yet. The day's not over. Trying to jinx us?
Greetings.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. We come with the utmost goodwill.
Really?
Goodwill? Do plumes of smoke signal goodwill in your land? We have no tolerance for invaders. Or liars, for that matter. No one further need die today, so long as you submit to the will of my rule.
No.
My lord, we'd be awful sorry guards if we let you traipse on in and imprison our lord.
Never.
Denmark will never belong to the likes of you. Not if we can help it. So be it. The olive branch was refused.
Die then.
Useless men that they are no match for our glorious might.
Onward.
Onward, men, to the seat of power. Slay all who stand in our way. No! The march towards the castle takes no prisoners. Alright.
Hamlet.
Alright, Hamlet, come on.
Ah.
The traitors are all in blood. Yes, yes.
What?
How did you... Hamlet, leave me be. I have things to do. Lord Fortinbras' invasion is frightening and powerful. Unaffected by internal affairs, his march seems to signal the abrupt end of my timeline. Even if I am still alive, then what is keeping me here? What traps me in these 4 days? Why must I languish in this hell? It's not fair. None of this is right. There has to be a way out. There has to be. Perhaps this mysterious spirit everyone's whispering about has an answer for me. If I can only cause it to appear, that is. Yeah, so even if Britt doesn't kill us, the timeline still ends eventually on, what is it, Saturday afternoon or Sunday morning? I don't feel like doing math right now. Yeah, Sunday. It ends on Sunday with Fortinbras invading. So we need to figure out how to stop him from invading, basically. So, I have been Mars, and I will be back with more Elsinore.